What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Phantom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Anthony and Mike, and we are discussing season 4, episode 4 of The Boys. And I am going to start this episode off by saying, please give Tony Starr his Emmy. Please.
Facts. That whole this is the probably the closest they've come to actually having making this show a horror show, because that shit was just nerve-wracking. As soon as the elevator door opened up with him holding a Carvel cake, I was just like, oh, this is okay, this is diabolical on a whole nother level. And by the time it was over, I was just like, that's fucking bull. Holy shit. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like that shit was horrific. And it's like I feel bad. You know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for whoever started like the week before this happened.
Right.
They're just like I just moved up and fought. This is
Yeah.
great. You know, I'm working on research. This is what I studied my whole life for. Hey, the camera just went out. Huh? What's that?
Hey, some of these people weren't even born when you were here.
They weren't even there.
Right. And I mean, when he stepped off the elevator and he started talking to Marty and what was the other guy's name? John?
Frank.
No, not John. Who was the other guy? Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
And he comes with the little fake smile and the with the eyes. I was like, oh, he done went batshit crazy. Like, I know I was saying something last episode about his humanity and how it's peeking through. Oh no, it's done. He was like, yeah, we're about to get rid of this right now. And oh my God. Like, we know Homelander can be cruel.
Just how apt was that Frank got roasted in the oven like a Frankfurter, like a burned Frankfurter. Like just in time for the 4th of July. Here you go.
Let's get them all out the way, Mike. Get them all out the way.
I got a ton. You might as well just sit back and relax. I got a ton for this episode.
Yeah, like, I mean, you see, it's
we haven't even gotten to Sage and how Guy Fieri needs to be suing Eric Kripke for tattering the name of his restaurant.
What restaurant?
Flavortown.
Oh. Yeah. I was like,
yeah, that's Guy Fieri's restaurant.
Yeah. But man, let me tell you, Homelander in this whole episode, like from the moment he walked into wherever that lab is for Vault, he was so cold and so calculating, and so it was just like you said, Mike, it was like watching a horror movie, but it's like you couldn't, it's literally the definition of you can't turn your face, your head from a train wreck. You're just sitting there looking like, what is he gonna do next? Because you can't look away.
Because you know they're dead. It's like as soon as the doors open, I was like, y'all, everybody in there's dead. Like y'all aren't walking out of here. And it's like it's the waiting, the anticipation of how he's gonna do it was the worst. And it's like he's just being all friendly, like, here, have some cake. Hey, let's play some waste paper basketball. Yeah, and it's just like.
Yeah,
I would just try to run and have him laser me, be like, here, just get it over with. I can't do it. I don't want to. Don't drag that shit out. Just if you're gonna kill me, kill me. Just do it now. I don't want to be waiting and anticipating watching you torture motherfuckers and laser motherfuckers' dicks out. Like put a hole the size of a cable's can through someone's crotch with your laser. Like, no, just hit me in the head. Like, just
but maybe
let's get it over.
Ones thought they were like, well, we weren't part of that. So why would he? Yeah, there were probably some naive people down in that room.
No, Homelander was unhinged. They had to think that if Homelander came down, Homelander never comes down there. If he comes down there and he has a cake and a weird smile on his face, I'd be like, oh, I'm dead. Like, fuck. Like, God damn it. Fine. Just go ahead and get it over with. I mean, I don't want to wait. The waiting it's just like the great Tom Petty said, the waiting is the hardest part. It's like if you're gonna kill me, just freaking kill me. Don't drag it out and don't ignore me.
The whole episode. Like literally the first scene to the last scene.
Right. Don't ignore me until you tell me to go into a room where you tear me apart, tear me limb from limb, and scatter me around. Like, nah, no, absolutely not. You want to kill me right now? Like,
And the
just
thing about
get
the
it over.
killing, especially with Frank and Marty, he didn't do it quick. He did it in ways that he knew they would suffer. Like even when Barbara got down there after he had lasered Marty's dick off, and Barbara was like, "Put him out of his misery, please." He could have easily lasered him to death. No, he stepped on his face. He made sure Marty was going to feel pain until the very last second. And I was just like,
First of all, he didn't just laser his dick off. It was a bit more.
well, yes,
His whole crotch, like he pretty much went from front out his asshole. Like he
yeah,
just went straight
like he
through.
created a new asshole.
He literally tore him a new asshole. He
Yes,
literally tore him a new asshole.
Yeah.
in addition to some other stuff, but oh, that it was just
It was
watching him.
agonizing.
And like I said, seeing the look on his face, because Tony Stark does this really good thing with his facial movements. Like he has these different ticks when Homelander is about to go off the reservation, and you could just kind of see it escalating in this episode. And it's like he's trying to keep it friendly, normal, like, yeah, I'm gonna lull these people into a false sense of security. Not, but it's the eyes and it's the like I said, the facial tics. You were like, yeah, no, this is not gonna have a good outcome for
And
anybody.
he did it without looking angry. He was just like, it was just like another day. He's like, he had
No,
a smile on his face
you don't
most.
think that crazy look on it, like you're looking at
No,
somebody who's doing like
him
this.
looking, like the way he looks at Ashley, like that angry, like, like he was just like, yeah. Even when he told Frank, he's like, get in the oven or I'm gonna get your family and put him in there. It was just like casual, just like, you know.
That was, but you know what? I feel like even with that one, he looked a little angry. The one that was really creepy was Marty. He was like, yeah, stay, Marty. Okay. So he pulls the chair down. He sits down. He was like, so I want you to jerk off in front of all of us and we're going to laugh at you. And I was just like, oh. And these fools ran
That
out saying,
was
I'm so sorry. That was going to fix it? Really? You thought so?
and it's part of me for being a male here, but I would have been like, I would have said to one of them, and because I know I'm gonna die anyway, I'd be like, can we all whip your titties out and help me out? Like, let me get some, like,
I don't think that would have helped in that situation.
I was still, I know I was
Unless
dying.
you are one of those people who get off on that type of thing, who gets off on impending death.
Look, the thing, it can't hurt. It can't. You got to try everything at your disposal. I mean, he could have got one of the guys to like turn around or something, whatever he's into. No kink shaming here. It's like if he's into guys, he's had a guy turn around and bend over and be like, help me out. I'm your boss. Do this.
But
Like,
I don't think Homelander would have allowed that because it didn't
probably.
match what the original crime was, which was, Homelander
Oh,
describing
right.
him being a teenage boy, having those needs and kind of, trying to rub one out. And then Marty caught him and teased him and gave him the nickname Squirt. So in Homelander's mind, the punishment is going to fit the crime. Like, you caught me when I was by myself trying to do this and you interrupted me and you laughed at me. So now we're going to do the same thing. Why should Marty get any help to make that easier? No, we're going to humiliate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
have I have a hard time mustering up sympathy
Marty didn't. Huh?
Frank for Frank and Marty because of what
I have no pity for them whatsoever. They
their
got what they deserved.
their hand in what they did to that poor little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
This is why Homelander is as screwed up as he is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
100%.
And you can lay the blame at their feet easily.
Or at Vaught's feet, technically, because chances are they got orders from someone higher up, probably Stan Edgar. And they were like, okay, we need to, well, no, because Stan wasn't around at the beginning, I don't think, when Homelander was created.
I think he was. He was running the team
I
with
think he was running the
Soldier
7,
Boy.
but he had. I don't think he was
I don't think he was
involved
that
in
high
He
up. I
wasn't
think that
the
was still
he wasn't the
Doctor
top. Mm-mm.
Vogelbaum. I think
Pokemon.
that was still Vogelbaum. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like whoever was at the top gave Marty and Frank their instructions. And I mean, Frank even said that he was like, I was just doing my job. Okay, but is that really an excuse? And I understand I mean, if you look at the beginning of the episode when they were showing the stuff on the wall, they showed one of the memos that talked about the circumstances beyond. I think they were working on something called Project Odessa, which I don't know, for some reason I feel like that's going to have some significance later, but they were
You know that's an allusion to um the effort to defend the Nazis, to get them
oh
off. Yeah,
oh okay
Odessa, Project
okay
Odessa.
okay. So it
Yeah.
talks about the secrecy and classified nature of what they do, but it's like for Frank and Marty, even though yes, they were doing part of they were doing their job, they were doing what they were instructed. You kind of feel like you have to have a certain level of inhumane nature for you to be able to do this job and just be like, oh, it's part of my job. Because here's the thing, after Homelander left, you are still doing this job. Now, is it that because you're locked into this particular job, like you know too many secrets, so you're either stuck there or you leave in a body bag? Is it that type of work environment? I mean, talk about your toxic work environments, but you kind of sort of want to think that maybe they didn't have a choice, but everybody always has a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You did what was easiest for you and what kept you safe and what kept you, I don't know, rich, fed, whatever, as opposed to saying, okay, we can't do this to this little boy. But also, too, I feel like Frank and Marty and probably everybody else down in that lab, because Homelander was created, they probably didn't even look at him as like a real kid. You know what I'm saying? Because most people, yes, there are some horrible people in this world. Most people aren't going to put a little boy in the oven, even if he's invincible, and be like, oh, let's see how we can crank this up and what it's going to do to him.
Yeah, but that makes me feel even less sympathy for him. If they saw him as an object or like as a thing to experiment on, I have even less. Like he should have lasered him when he got off the elevator and saved him
That
trouble.
would have been too
But
easy.
no, because he needed that catharsis, like the whole like everything played out. He needed that. So I get it. I get it. And it's like I didn't have any pity. Soon as he said what they did, I was like, oh fuck you, fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
Like just go ahead and get it over with.
I think this whole side quest, I think his intention was to get rid of the last little bit of humanity in him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But then you find
Absolutely.
out that they didn't treat him with any humanity at all. So he doesn't really have any humanity.
Mm-hmm. And then
And
when
I
Yeah,
think
it's like so.
that's what he learned. Like there is no humanity here.
yeah. And then when Barbara walks in and she basically is like, that's your greatest weakness. We made sure that you were a person who was going to need attention, who was going to need love. And like they conditioned him to be the way that he is now. No wonder he's so fucked up.
And like she
Yeah, they
said, you could have left any
at any
time
time.
you wanted to. We couldn't have
Yeah, how they
stopped
gonna stop him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But why
it.
would
You chose to
why would
stay.
he think that?
The
Especially as a
option never
child.
crossed his mind because he didn't want to leave the love and attention he was getting or seeking.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I think her punishment was the worst of all because he killed everyone, literally painted the walls with their body parts and blood, and then locked her in that room so that she can't leave.
yeah, he fucking lasered it shut so no one could get to her. So it's like, oh well. I mean, well, hers was the worst because the fact that she could come in there and just be straight faced and not really even be concerned that he was gonna kill her or not even care. She was just like Homelander, what?
And
What
not
you
only
want
that,
closure?
digging the knife in and twisting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, we knew you were gonna be fucked up because that's how we conditioned you to be.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's the most inhumane thing of all. But again, that's the reason why he had to go home, because in order for him to get rid of that humanity, I think he did have to go back and look at how they treated him to get rid of all that, like, oh, I don't need this because when I needed this, this is what happened to me. So
And why should
now,
I show the human race and the humanity when it wasn't shown to me?
right, when humans were the ones that did this to me. Man, and then it's like, I want to know, what kind of trauma did these people have in their lives for them to be able to just do that and turn off their emotions and not be like, that didn't
That's
bother you what you were doing?
no, but that's the whole reason, like, why they flashed the Odessa thing. Like, that was the SS trying to help Nazis escape and go into hiding.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, their whole defense, I think, of the Nuremberg trials was, we were just doing what we were told. Like, it was
Mm-hmm.
orders. That's how they
Right.
feel. Like, you
Yeah.
can separate yourself from being human and having mercy and humanity by saying that, oh, someone else told me to do it. I was just following orders.
But no,
And that's what they were doing.
that's a different type of person, because you know
It's
what?
all the same. It's easy
Because
when
if
you can
somebody
say that
tells
someone.
me, if somebody comes to me and tells me, you have to do this thing to this little child, or I'm going to kill you. I'm sorry, you're just going to have to kill me, because there is nothing in me that will be okay with doing that for whatever reason, much less because somebody told me to fucking do it.
When it started out as an experiment, it's easy to say, well, this is just an experiment, guys. We just want you to test them with these few things. Just test it with these few things. And it's like a frog being in the boiling water. You start it off really low and you slowly turn it up and you don't know what's happening. And next thing you know, you're throwing a 13-year-old into a furnace and lighting him on fire to see if he can feel, see if it affects his skin or whatever. Because at that point, the whole time he's just it is just an experiment. And you're just following orders because someone told you to do it. They
And
they
you got
didn't look at him as a child. It was an experiment, something that needed to be tested. And it's easy to lay the blame on someone else that, yeah, it was a child, but I was really just doing what I was told to do. They weren't
you got
under
to look at
I'm sure they weren't under any threat of bodily or physical harm. They're just
no.
scientists doing the scientist thing.
From
And you
Vaught,
got to
oh,
look at it like this. It's like Vought hired they were these people were hired specifically for this task because they're the type of people that Vought wanted in there. They were probably at the bottom. They probably weren't like top of the class. They weren't popular. They really didn't have that much going for them. I mean, it's like they probably just had a certain personality trait that they wanted in there, namely to be able to come to work and lord over somebody who's technically better than they are, but they can do all kinds of bad things to them. It's like they had people there with a certain mind state that they could exploit and say, "Here, we need you to do this, do this, do this." And just like Anthony said, they probably started low, where they were testing like probably mental stuff, probably reflexes and stuff like that. Then they're like, "Okay, let's amp it up." Think about this. Remember in Gen V when they were working on the virus, they had had same scientist there who was working on older soups
yeah, but
and
that
testing out the
particular
virus.
scientist, all because
It's
here's
like
my
You can't. It's hard to put yourself in their mindset because you didn't start out at a low thing. Because at
right.
first you started out just by sampling hair hair samples, then skin samples. Well, maybe it'll act different if we actually test it on him himself. And then you start doing and you start escalating
see, I don't.
these things. And
That's the thing,
it's the same
because
thing with the Nazis. Like, how do you take 100 people, put them in a room where you know you're gonna gas them to death? Like, how is that as a person? How can you feel or believe that
it's,
that's something the right thing to do? It's the same kind of mindset where you have removed yourself from the humanity of the situation because at this point you're just a soldier or a scientist doing what someone above you told you to do.
And it's just, I guess the thing is, it's so scary to me that kind of conditioning, like, I've never seen it personally. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to grasp that someone can do that, because even in the example you just said, if you start out with skin tissue, if you start out with, whatever, things that are not an actual person. Okay, I can get that. You're doing experiments in the lab, whatever. Once you get to something that is moving, breathing, resembles a person, whether he was a baby, whether he was a child, to me, it's like that's where you should be looking like, what the fuck here? I mean, but I'm one of those people who also look at animal experimentation and like, I just don't know if I could do that. It's
Yeah,
just,
but that again, that's because you are who you are and you're not in those situations.
yeah, that kind
It's
of
different
conditioning
for
is
the
scary.
but it happens all the time. It still happens to this day. And it's
I
not
know.
just with experimenting on people, it's the same thing with how we even treat each other as people. Like you
Yeah.
raise your child to be a certain way, you condition them to be a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's just how it is, you know? So I can't, it, I understand, like, I wouldn't do anything like that, but I understand people who are in those situations, how they can end up there because of the circumstances they're placed in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I mean, there's a myriad of examples of people just doing what they were told to do
I know.
because that was their job.
I know.
Cops do it all the time. I'm just doing my job.
Okay, yeah, let's not even get into that heavy subject.
See, you
Right.
my where's my soapbox? It's around
Oh,
here somewhere.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, saying all of that to say, I don't really blame Homelander. I mean, and I think this kind of goes back to that conversation we had last week about bullying and about how the people who are bullied end up sometimes becoming the bully. And it's not necessarily just because they want to do it, but they feel like, oh, I'm owed this, or I need to take my vengeance on this person because of what they did to me, because of what they made me. Because again, if you really think about it, made Homelander the way that he is. All of his fucked up stuff comes from that particular room and those particular people. Maybe not the ones who, like you said, Mike, if they started last week and they just got a whew, can you imagine? I just started here, like, what is going on? Like, some of these people probably don't even know about Homelander's history in that place. They're just sitting there doing their job, minding their business. It's like, oh, and you're looking at Marty and you're taking cues. Marty looks a little worried. Do we need to be worried? This is Homelander.
Well,
Also, there
there are
there had
pictures of him all over the place. You're like, oh, this is
there
cool.
are
This is where Homelander grew up. Oh man, this is
right.
awesome. I'm excited to
Yeah.
be here.
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, I don't really feel sorry for them either, because they're probably like, you know what? I want to help build the next Homelander. So that's probably why they're there too. It's like the experiment on the next Homelander. So it's like, okay, fuck them too. But me being who I am, as soon as Marty said, call Vought, tell him we have a breach. I'm in the back room. I'm in the back room. There's a back room
Gone.
somewhere in there.
I would have been
Fuck
like,
that.
mm-mm.
I know there's a staircase, there's an emergency staircase somewhere. I'm up that bitch.
Well,
I'm
Barbara
straight
had to
up.
get in somehow. So,
No,
Yeah,
she came through the elevator.
oh, okay,
yeah,
that's
she's
right.
probably in charge, so she probably has the means to get into that area, even if it was locked down. But here's the crazy thing. So you're calling Vought to say, tell Vought that we have a breach. Um, did you not get the memo that Homelander is in charge of Vought now? Like,
They
why
didn't
would
know
you?
who it was though. They
It
didn't know
doesn't
who it was.
matter.
It was just a
You
breach.
really think no. What I'm saying is, if you're calling Homelander to say, hey, we have a breach down here in the area in the room where we totally fucked you up as a child, do you think that's gonna have a good outcome? Like,
First of all, I'm sure Homelander went to the security guys and said, "Hey, I'm going to visit level 13
No, they're
today."
dead. No, they're dead.
You're
I'm
probably going to
willing to
get a
bet they're
call
dead.
from them. Don't worry about it.
he
You know what I'm
killed
saying?
them. He killed.
No.
There's a
I'm
reason.
talking about
Oh,
at
the ones
Vault
that bought. The ones that
headquarters.
bought.
At
I
Vault
got you. I'm tracking.
headquarters.
Yeah.
Not the security people here, but he probably went to Vault head. I mean, he's in charge.
He's
That's
in
what the
charge, but
security.
Homelander ain't about to go tell nobody what he's about to do. He's not about to go get any quote unquote permission to go. Because he already knows as soon as he gets there, security is dead on site. Ain't nobody gonna call. That's why the line was cut. He already knew. Homelander ain't warning nobody about nothing.
In the alternative, at the main headquarters, someone looked at the video camera and said, "Oh, it's Homelander." That's all right.
Homelander.
No, but he already cut everything. Look, think back to I think it was last season where it's like where Starlight had the video of him and Maeve in that plane crash, and she was like, "I'm going to show this video." And he was like, "Go ahead." And he literally outlined how he would cripple the United States and like take everything out. Yeah, that motherfucker. When it comes to shit like this, he thinks of everything. Like before he even went into that building, he already cut everying.
Yeah.
So
Never mind, because the guard said the line's dead when he told him to call and say there's a breach.
Yeah, he already took care of that.
Nobody, because again, you just dealt with the situation where you found out there's a breach at Vought. Now you killed that one breach, but there could be other people there who would be like, who would call them and be like, hey, Homelander's on the way. No, Homelander is not. Element of surprise is always what he's going to go with, because that's going to shock people. The way he showed up at Sage's apartment, Sage is like, I'm never surprised. He's looking for the advantage. Element of surprise, yeah, I'm just going to show up. I'm going to go back. I'm going to take a cake. I'm going to act all nice and stuff. Yeah, because as soon as the elevator door opened, they're all on edge. He's already won the game right there. He could have just lasered them all and been done with it, but no, he had to pull it out because he had to make sure they understood why he was there and why he was punishing them. Finna warn nobody. So them even trying to call to Vought for help. Why? There's nobody there to help you. Homelander is in charge. Even if they had been able to get that call out, and they'd be like, oh, somebody's here. If, like you said, if Vought looks at that security footage, they're gonna be like, oh, it's Homelander, it's the boss. We can't do shit.
Yeah. Shout out to him for getting a Carvel cake, because those things are fucking delicious. That's one way to disarm me, is if you get me a Carvel ice cream cake with those little chocolate crunchies in it.
Carvel one.
Oh, and he got the Father's Day cake.
Yeah, the whale of a time or whatever.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, whale of a cake for a whale of a dad.
Oh wow!
And it's like it has like the chocolate crunchies in them and like vanilla and chocolate. Like,
Mike, you're salivating.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, that's one of the best, because Carvel is Carvel's a northern thing. That's probably why you haven't heard of it. It's like,
no, I've heard of it. I've just never had one, because I think
you ain't never heard of it.
No, I've heard of it.
Oh no, Mike. No, why would you say we would never heard of it?
No, because I said I've never had one.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, because like I used to have
ice cream cakes for my nephew on almost every single birthday.
Yeah, because they do sell them in the stores. I've never had one.
There's a Carvel off. I think it's off Indian Trail. There's a Carvel store.
Okay,
there was one here, but it's like I used to get one every summer when I went to go see my dad, and it's like those things are fucking
they're amazing.
Okay,
phenomenal.
Yeah. Or you just go to Dairy Queen and get one from there.
Get an invitation one. Fuck there, no.
See, I've had the Dairy Queen ones.
No, Dairy Queen don't hold a cake. I don't know what Carvel does to their cakes, but that shit is so fucking good. Like, damn.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to go buy me a Carvel cake just to see. But yeah, I'm sorry. Give Tony Starr an Emmy because
They should have gave him one last year.
well,
I think they're really trying to get him one this year, like with the 4 or 5 split mirror that they did, and this episode, they're I think Kripke's trying his damnedest to get him an Emmy. Like he's like, get this.
you know how they are
Yes,
about
I
genre
know.
shows. They just show those shows no respect because
About how they do comic products. Period. Like all I gotta say is Jamie Lee Curtis.
you know what?
I'm still mad about that.
We're not. We're not. We're not.
She wasn't
Let's
even the
move on.
best. She wasn't even
No,
the best person.
Mike,
She wasn't
we
even
are
the best
not
supporting
doing
actress
this.
in that fucking movie.
No,
It
we're
was a
not
great
doing
movie.
this, Mike.
Stephanie Sue should have been.
Mike, stop it. Stop it.
See, it's almost the same as that certain other task person, but we're not getting into that either.
Yes.
So,
Okay, you know what? We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Like I said, Tony Starr, give that man an Emmy because he absolutely fucking
facts.
earned it in this episode. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of people losing their temper and getting revenge, we gotta talk about Starlight because when I say homegirl is losing it,
In the words of the great Terrence Howard in the excellent movie Hustle and Flow, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick. That's what I was saying when I was like, yes, that was like she deserved that shit. Fuck all the other shit that she was doing. You don't get someone's personal medical records and just out them for having a fucking abortion.
Well,
That's
technically, Firecracker didn't do that. Sage did that.
Yeah, but you don't go around saying it though. She went out. She pretty much put her on blast like that. I mean, it's on the same level as outing somebody for being gay. It's like what the fuck are you doing? You're entering someone's personal life and doing something that's so fucking personal. I wouldn't if I was Mother's Milk. I wouldn't. I think Mother's Milk probably held back a little bit before he stopped. He was like, "Go ahead and get 2 more in." Okay, there, stop.
But
Because
again,
fuck that.
This is a person who you spread a rumor about when she was 12 that she had a gangbang with judges. Same emotional damage. Except Starlight did what she was. Starlight did.
I thought Mike was gonna do it.
No, Starlight did what
Emotional. No.
Firecracker didn't do what Starlight accused her of. Starlight did do what Firecracker accused her of. And I get it. That's something that should have been private. That's something that should have never seen the light of day. Again, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck Sage is getting all this information. But I mean,
again, wait, we had this conversation last time. Sage is the smartest person on the planet. She has information on everybody. You don't think she has dug through every single individual's personal history, medical? This woman does not get bored. Like she has nothing but time on her hands. She can find out she will know everything about everyone associated with anybody.
Yeah.
And she's in the right place because Vought has ends everywhere. It's like
Vought you know what? Yeah. You because I was like,
Vought can find anything.
Okay, that makes sense.
And if Vought can't find it, she's gonna figure out what your password is to all your information. She's gonna figure out anyone's password. She's gonna hack every hospital. Because you know how you sit down and you watch a YouTube video about, I don't know, sanding your dining room table to repaint it, and the next thing you know, you're watching, videos of cats jumping through windows. That's the kind of person that she is. She's not just going
what Anthony's viewing.
Hey, I will fall down a YouTube rabbit hole in real quick.
Yeah. So fast. Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I believe once Sage gets started in on your information, she's gonna keep going until she's into other territory. Mm-hmm. She's the smartest person on the planet.
Yeah.
And it's not even like an argument. She just is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I gotta say, her giving that information to Firecracker and Firecracker saying like, when I thought you were when I first met you, I thought you were uppity, but you cool, girl. She was looking at her like, I was like,
No. She said you're one of the good ones. That no, I don't know.
Sage
I
was looking at her like, girl.
Yeah. So we gotta stick together. Yeah. She's like, yeah. Soon Starlight gets her hands on you, I'm gonna enjoy that shit. I'm gonna record it and rewind it and watch it and rewind it and rewatch it and rewind it and watch it. I love, and plus once it happened, she was like, it's like, how's that crack? I was
Right.
like, yeah, and how's that for uppity cracker?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, so you set that up. You were like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I know that's gonna be
That's why
one
I was
thing
like,
set.
like,
Starlight. But
that's why I was like, don't fuck with Sage. Yeah, not fucking with you.
I have to
Nah,
say, it was kind of satisfying to watch, even though I feel like she
it
kind
was
of,
very
I was,
satisfying.
I was like, Starlight, you are supposed to be the hero. You are supposed to be better than this. But again, like I said, I feel like they are trying to show us that these quote unquote heroes are not black and white. Like Starlight, you can see her like she's slowly been kind of losing it. It's like every little thing they say about her, like at the beginning of the episode when they were talking about her first save and how somebody came into a Walmart and did something and she caught the robbers or whatever it was, but she ended up blinding one of the hostages with her powers, and she was like, I was just learning how to control my powers. And it's like,
conveniently distracting from the fact that she just admitted to committing statutory rape to a 15-year-old boy.
Listen.
This is how they do it. I was like, oh my God, this is like, I mean, she had orange hair. I was like, is she related? Because she's taking all his tricks and like doing all that. I was like,
10
really? He's like,
seconds. She pulled that little sob story for 10 seconds. I sinned, but I think God sent that young man so to lead me into the light and
I'm
start.
saved. And guess what?
Like the
Again,
minute she
but
said and star, she didn't even get the name out. And star, I was like, is she really turning this around? So quick? Like everybody was just like, oh yeah, you're sick. I was like,
and
oh
Ezekiel's ass on stage going like, hallelujah, hallelujah. I was like, you need to
but
stretch
I
your
was
ass
like,
out
you know
today.
what? We've seen this idiocy before in real
Mm-hmm.
life. And I'm just sitting here looking at the TV like,
Still seeing it. Yep, you were exactly right. I swear to God, I was like, she's spin the fuck out of it. I was kind of chilled the way that when Butcher showed her everything, he was like, you're gonna tell us what about Sage, or I'm going to hit this little button and send it. She was like, why don't I do it for you? I was like, oh fuck.
right.
I was like,
And then
oh, so
what did she
she
say? Fuck around and find
fuck
out. I
around
was
to find
like,
out. I was like,
yeah. So basically,
I was
she
like,
she basically said, my fuck around and find out is that I'm gonna go admit what I did wrong. Like literally, her whole platform is about Starlight and pedophilia. And you literally are admitting this on stage, on live TV, and nobody bets an eyelash.
No,
and you still
because she said it was to lead her to the good side. It was to lead her to the light, to find her salvation.
hallelujah.
And and that goes a long way with a certain crowd, certain
The
demographic.
crowd that are her fans. It's like
Right.
she's playing straight to her crowd. She's playing straight to every person that was there, and she knew it. She was
And
probably thinking
then
about it. She was like, I could swear, I could spin the fuck out of this
what
and
do you
make
do?
it.
Pivot. That's what she did.
Mm-hmm.
Pivot.
Yep,
Like I said, it took her
absolutely.
10
She's
seconds,
good at what she does. She's good.
which is why Sage was like, we need her. I mean,
Hmm.
I understand the I understand it.
She didn't deserve. She. Okay, I'm not gonna say she deserved the beating she got, but then again, how much, how accountable are these characters going to be held for the things they did in their past? And Starlight is, I guess, has got to be held accountable for basically ruining Firecracker's life.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what she did. She destroyed this little girl's life.
Right.
And this is the monster that she created.
But see, if Starlight had just held back just a little bit, she could have found a way to work around that. She could have found a way. I don't know. I just feel like even if she had gone the route and said, oh, this is a lie, this is a fabrication, which with Firecracker's followers, it probably wouldn't have worked. But she could have kind of manipulated that truth in a way that wouldn't look so bad on her, if that's really what she needed to do. But what you just did, you flew out to that stage in a rage and literally stomped the life out of this bitch.
She's
Like,
becoming unhinged because she doesn't want to face who she is. Who she was. Remember, I told you about all these side quests that these characters are about facing who they are, holding up a mirror. We just watched Homelander do it. Homelander put up a mirror and looked his youth straight in his eye and said, you know what? I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And now he's straight.
Yep. But
you
she
gotta
won't
learn.
do
Frenchie is gonna have to go through the same thing.
it.
And here Starlight is seeing the consequences of her actually not facing and accepting what she did and who she, it's like Firecracker said last episode, it's too late now. Like, you apologizing now?
Kind
No,
of like
the
Marty and
woman's life.
Frank. Oh, you saying you
right?
You saw
The life has been
you were just doing your
destroyed.
job,
The life
right?
has been ruined already. And you think an apology now is gonna make up for that? Right. No, it's not.
It's not.
So it is what it is.
Shout out to Firecracker getting the deep on there singing Up Where We Belong.
No, because let me tell you, when that came on, I listened to 3 notes. I paused it and I could not. I had to step away. It took me 30 minutes to come back because I was like, I can't. Like, that song is on my Spotify playlist. I listen to it at least 3 times a week. Okay.
You will never hear it the same anymore.
No,
now.
I won't. And I hate when people do that. Like, I have 2 friends when what's the name of that Will Ferrell movie about the figure skaters?
Blades of Glory.
Yes. So I had never seen this movie because I've already stated I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan. They were like, no, you're going to sit down with us and you're going to watch this movie. So literally, I'm sitting on my couch. One of them is on one side, the other's on the other side. They're like, you're going to watch this movie. They play the movie. And then, of course, Aerosmith comes on in that scene. And I was like, y'all, I would never hear this song the same again without seeing this visual. Y'all just fuck this
Scissor
song
Brothers.
up. And it's the same for this. As soon as they started singing, and the crazy thing is, both of them most likely can sing their asses off because most people in Hollywood can because they've been trained. The fact that Firecracker was just a little bit off key, I was like, oh, this is bothering me so much. Let me turn this off.
She didn't care about being on or off key. She's trying to, the whole point of that being across from her foundation was to antagonize her. So of course she's going to bring the guy that she blew
right
to sing a love song with her. Why not? She's bringing Kanye West on that bitch. It's like, Kanye, I mean, shit.
The names are maybe name dropping in this show. But it was yeah, that was kind of hard to get through. I think I muted the rest of it because I was just like, I can't do it. I can't.
Where we belong.
First of all, let's talk about the fact that Firecracker, she started out as a podcaster, which I feel like gives all of us a bad name. But she starts out as a podcaster and then she becomes a part of the 7. Vought News Network gives her a 6-hour platform just to aggravate Star. What?
We have to run content.
Plan. This is part of Sage's plan.
I know.
We need to switch content. Maybe we should start talking about like other things.
No,
No,
no, no,
absolutely not.
absolutely the fuck not. No. But
uh,
okay, since Anthony kind of walked us in that back door, let's go talk about Frenchie a little bit. Because
man,
you know
that
what?
was heartbreaking.
Why did you say those words?
The back, yeah, Frenchie
Why did you say
backdoor,
those
really?
words?
I really
Really?
wasn't.
Walk around the Colin's back door,
I wasn't
Frenchie.
thinking in that way, but
Man, that shit was heart wrenching, dude. It's like I'm glad he finally told him, but we all knew what was going to happen. We all knew that Colin was going to do something like that. I'm surprised Colin didn't go ahead and kill him, but I was like, yeah, Frenchie still has to be in the show, so Frenchie's not going to kill him, but he's going to come damn close. But I was just like, I mean, whoever plays Colin did a good job in that scene because he actually did really good as far as like giving that emotion. I thought he did. I thought he did a good job.
man, let me tell you, I just Elliot Knight, that's his name, the guy who plays
Yeah,
Colin.
he did a good
But
job.
like at the beginning, when Colin starts talking about his family and the has the album and French is sitting there listening, he was like, yeah, my dad used to play this, and when we would go on car rides, and French is just like, oh, you never told me much about them. I was like, French, why are you doing
Why
this
are
to
you
me?
bringing that up? Yeah,
Why are you doing this to me?
that's what I was saying. I was like, why are you trying to get him to talk about it? Like,
But I
maybe
think
he was. I think that he was trying to figure out what he knew, like to see if there was something that could tip him off about that it was him. And sure enough, there you go with your burned ankles.
But I think the thing that's really interesting is that, okay, of course, when Frenchie asked him the information, Colin starts talking about what happened the night, and he was like, you were there. And I think that probably pushed him to make that confession, because if you think about it, if he had known Colin was there, Colin would be dead too. So
Hmm.
that's like an extra level of guilt. But also, I feel like, similar to what you said, Anthony, about all of these characters having to put a mirror up to look at themselves, I feel like that's what Frenchie is doing. And I think he's probably going to go the way of Homelander, as far as like, okay, this is me. This is what I've done. I need to accept it. But I think with Frenchie's character, he's going to want to atone for it because he feels too much guilt, especially
Mhm.
because now he's involved with someone who is directly related to some of his crimes. I just think that guilt is going to eat him up too much, because one, we already know he wasn't doing all of this stuff because it was something he enjoyed doing. Lil Nina was basically controlling him. Remember, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she was like a dom and he was the sub. So he
Mhm.
literally couldn't get away from that. And the fact that Colin's mom was the judge that was supposed to make an example of little Nina, that's what we find out. My mom was a judge. She dealt with really violent cases. There was this Russian mob in Brighton Beach, Florida, and they were led by a lady, and my mom was going to make an example of her, so they made an example of my mom. Like, these are things that Frenchie had no control over. Little Nina told him to go do something, and he did it. And what, for whatever reason, whether it's just because she controlled him, whether it was because he got access to drugs, whether it was whatever. But I don't think that he doesn't seem like the type that would have done that and enjoyed it, because even when they have to kill, like even the soups and stuff, he's looking like, this again, whatever. Like, I really don't want to live this type of life. But it's kind of like the thing that he does. But I think he's going to be holding up that mirror, and his confession to Colin was a big part of that, because now he's like, okay, he knows. And you saw, he just kind of, when Colin attacked him, he was just kind of like, yeah, please kill me. And I really thought for a minute Colin was going to kill him or get very close. But Colin was like, yeah, no, I'm not about to become you.
Well, he has to process it first.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There's a
Yeah.
lot.
I mean, the guy that you really like that you've been having sex with,
Yeah.
and
If he had
he's
not
the
been
one that killed your.
having if he had not been having sex with him, Frenchie'd probably be dead.
Oh, absolutely. But also too, I don't think Frenchie would have found a reason to confess to him if he wasn't emotionally involved, because he could easily say, okay, you know what, that happened, different part of my life, I'm just going to go over here, that guy means nothing to me. So it I just don't think it would have had the same impact. But because of the fact that he's gotten involved with this person, not only physically but kind of emotionally too, it's not like they just bumping butt. Let me not say that. It's not just that they are bumping bodies, but you can see that there's an emotional connection. Well, but
But Frenchie put himself in that situation. Like, didn't he get Colin a job there? Like
Yeah.
he felt guilty though.
He
Yeah.
was already feeling guilty.
Yeah.
He was on the path to making a confession like that. I think he was probably going to make the confession whether they were sleeping together or not. I just think it probably either accelerated it or made it more visceral for him.
Mm-hmm.
But from Colin's end, he had he not had the emotional attachment, he would have
All of
he
his
would have
puns.
he would have killed Frenchie.
Yeah.
But I think Frenchie was gonna confess no matter what because the guilt was just too much for
Too
him.
much.
It was
Yeah.
too much for him. That's why he got him the job there in the first place. That's what draw him to him. Was I don't know. I don't know if he was even looking for absolution. He was just trying to figure out how to deal with his guilt.
Maybe after everything that happened last season with little Nina, now the fact that he is now free from her, maybe that's kind of what spurred him on this path. Because my thing is, you met Colin in Narcotics Anonymous, right? You know who he is. He doesn't know who you are. I think if Frenchie was the person he used to be, or a person who was uncaring, he probably would have never gone back to Narcotics Anonymous, or he would have gone to a different meeting. He could have easily avoided, once he saw, oh, Colin is here. Oh, I know this dude and I know why I know this dude. Let me not interact with him anymore. He could have been done with that. He probably still would have been carrying around that guilt, but he would have been done with it. But once you strike up a conversation with someone and start sharing tidbits of yourself with someone, oh, here's my name, oh, you're having a hard time, oh, let me find you a job. Because if you think about it, Colin in those pictures with his family when he graduated, that wasn't in the distant past. That was probably within the last couple of years. So this is still fresh for Colin, which is probably why he was still having a hard time with it at Narcotics Anonymous.
Yeah, because at first I was having a hard time with the timeline. I'm like, Colin, because for some reason Colin seemed like he was like at least 30 in his 30s. And I'm like, Frenchie's only in his 30s, late 30s, maybe. But it's like how the timing of it. It's like because Frenchie being a killer means he was older. So it's like,
yeah, but if you look at when Colin is having his recollection and they show him up under the bed, he doesn't look much different from the way he does now, except that he's clean shaven. So he may have been a few years younger. So yeah.
Yeah, I think my TV sucks, so I couldn't really see under his bed. So okay, that probably makes more sense. But yeah, I mean that shit was just, I mean, heartbreaking. And I'm like, I don't know how Frenchie's gonna make up for. I mean, that's something you can't really make up for. It's like, how you gonna be like, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can't bring his parents back. Can't bring his sister back. What you gonna do?
The only way I feel like Colin would even think to listen to anything Frenchie might have said, Frenchie would have to tell him about being in the Russian gang and about little Nina and how she had control of him. But I don't even think at this point that would matter, like, because you would have to be in a very vulnerable space with Colin in order to share that amount of information with him. And Colin is not in the mindset right now to listen to any of that. He's not going to care why you did it, just the fact that you did it. You know, because I mean, if we look at it, we can say, yeah, she probably was controlling Frenchie. She probably said, if you don't do this, ABC, whatever the case may have been. Or if he was still strung out, like heavily strung out at that time, she could have been controlling him with the drugs. You know, oh yeah, you go do this and I'll give you this. We don't know, but I don't think that's gonna, like you said, I don't think that's gonna make a difference to Colin.
It's not.
Especially not right now. So, but I mean, when we first met Colin, we said they were setting us up for some kind of heartbreak. Like they're gonna introduce us to him, let Frenchie fall in love with him, and then kill him. No, I think this is way worse. You have Frenchie like him, maybe even fall in love with him, depending on how long this has been. And then now you have to admit, oh yes, you know what? I really, really like you and I enjoy spending time with you. By the way, I killed your mom, dad, and sister, and I killed them brutally. And if I'd have known you were under the bed, I probably would have killed you too. That's like heartbreaking a whole other way.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not going to put Frenchie with Kimiko and you give us this romantic relationship for him, let him be happy. She has had enough bullshit in his life. I know this is the boys and we're not getting any happy endings. I understand that. Just for 5 minutes to be happy. Y'all know I have a soft spot for Frenchie.
Yep. And for Mother's Milk Spirit, but you know, you're not getting either one of those this season.
You know what?
Or A-Train's redemption.
But see, that's the thing. I'm not looking for A-Train's redemption. I just see where they're gonna try to do it. Even in this episode, you have him meeting with Hughie, or you have Hughie summoning him under the guise of MM, because Hughie's dad is technically brain dead. His mom is like, okay, we got to take him off the life support because he had a DNR. And Hughie, I'm like, you already
Hughie
see what it is doing to Butcher. But no, what do you want to do? You go to A-Train and you're like, I need you to get some V to save my dad because you've already taken one person that I love away and you're going to help me save another one. A-Train is like, fuck, how long am I going to have to live this down? Forever. Don't milk it. But Hughie, come on. And, you know, Kimiko was like, you shouldn't have done that. Well, what am I supposed to do? And she was like, I'm sorry, but I really think you should just let your dad die. Like, you know what V is doing. You see the effects are with Butcher. Now, granted, I understand that he's only going to take it once. And it was what Hughie and Butcher were taking the green version. And this is the actual V.
But yeah, it's not the 10th V. It's the
but you don't know what it's going to do. Like, they give that formula to kids for a reason. You can't give it to a grown adult. I mean,
he's gonna become Hydra like Zoe and be like, you know, have like tentacles coming out of his mouth and shit.
And the thing is, if you give it to him, which this is the episode where Hughie decided not to give it to him, right? But the mom ended up giving it to him. This is this episode, right? At the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But even though Hughie decided at the end, he was like, okay, I'm not going to give it to him, whatever. Even if he had decided, which we see, Dad ends up getting it anyway, because I guess the mom decided to put it in. I don't know, Mike, I'm starting to think that you were right. Like, she might be actually working for V. Because why would you do that? Especially, like, I get it, you're a vitality specialist, whatever. You don't know about that. Why would you put an unknown substance in this man's IV?
It's a known substance. She knew what it was. and she knows what it does. Everybody knows what V does. I think it's common knowledge.
It is now because Hughie let out the report, so
Oh,
everybody knows
yes,
that
yes. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
soups are
it's
injected with it. So yeah.
You're
yeah,
right.
it's
Okay,
common
I do
knowledge.
remember that. Okay. But even so, okay. You don't know what this thing is going to do to this man. Not only just do to him, he is brain dead. Why would you give
That's the upside. He's brain dead. What do you have to lose? And I think that's probably what her position was.
Still, I just
What do you have to lose? He's brain dead. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you didn't lose anything.
I just he
But you never think, at best, he wakes up and he's fine and he's a superhero, or he is a monster. I mean,
yeah, but
because
that's not
they have
necessarily
V
that's
zombies,
not necessarily two
zombies.
even sides of the coin though. It's like
right.
he's either
No,
he's gonna
because
be okay, he's either gonna be okay with powers, or he's not be decidedly not okay with powers.
Because you don't even know what this like when even though temp V, okay, it's still V in some form or fashion. Butcher got powers. Hughie got powers. Zoe, when she was injected with the actual V, she turned into a monster.
I mean, monster. I mean, what makes a monster? We've done entire Dragon
She
Con
Four
panels.
tentacles that eat flesh coming out of your mouth makes you a monster.
Having bright lights come out of your eyes, can make you a monster too. But
Yes, you're
that's a
exactly
discussion.
right.
That's a
Hey,
Yes, you're
all the soups are
exactly
hey,
right.
monsters.
I
I think
agree.
that's the theme of the show, is that all soups are monsters, period.
yeah.
But this is a side note from in the comics, when soups die because the V is so active that they reanimate, and they're like they're soup zombies.
Stop.
So yeah,
Stop.
yeah.
Really?
So I'm not saying this is what's gonna happen to him, but that's what happens in the comic books.
Okay. But
Like, they walk around and they're still sort of there and they're using their powers, but they're not really there anymore. It's really
So
weird.
super zombies.
Yeah.
still, I'm
Oh
sorry.
And they
no.
hide them away, like they do, like, oh, the soup has gone off world to stop an asteroid headed to our planet, or to go fight aliens in space. That's how they cover up their their deaths.
Okay. But come on, Huey, let's not make these stupid decisions.
He
Just
was a walking stupid decision.
Yeah, Hughie doesn't make the best
He
decisions. I
doesn't.
mean, he
Remember,
really doesn't.
he's emotionally stunted as a 6-year-old.
I
So
know. I
Yeah.
know. I know. And I can understand what drove him to it. Anyway, let's okay. So let's talk about him and Kimiko as they are meeting A-Train to have this discussion. And then when A-Train leaves, they get attacked. And Huey is like, who the hell are these people? Like, who's shooting at us? And it's it's the girl who Kimiko saw in the last episode from The Shining Light, who she knows. Man, let me tell you, these fight scenes, the fact that she blew Kimiko damn near
Hit her
in
with a grenade launcher. I was like, oh,
and hit
oh,
her
wow.
and split her in half.
yeah, that's a hell
Like,
of a respawn. I know there was a needle for that. Like,
I was just like,
Anthony got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was graphic too. I was like, shit. Like she had a
so graphic.
hole in her. A hole.
No. She was almost split in half. There was no hole. That was this is her body. This was her body after that grenade launch. Like if that grenade had hit her maybe just 2 inches more to the left, she would have been completely split in half. Which I don't think would have made much difference, because she probably would have just been able to pull herself together. Pun
Pull yourself
intended.
together. Pull yourself
Unintended.
together.
I see what you did there.
Yes. But okay, but I will say this: the fact that in 20 seconds she taught Hughie how to fight better than anybody on the boys' team has in the last 4 years. That was impressive.
Yeah.
And I think because I think she had the motivator. She was like, okay, either you fight to save your dad or you die. Oh, that's all I got to do. Okay. Let me go sit here and go toe to toe with these trained fighters
With office supplies.
with office supplies and make her
Like
kill.
the door of a file cabinet as a shield. I was like, eh. And shout out to Kimiko getting the handle for the paper cutter like they did in the faculty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, she getting
I
ready to
mean,
cut some motherfuckers up.
she was deadly with it. But I so we find out a little bit about the background of her and this girl because Kimiko was with Shining Light, and we already know this. And apparently, I guess she helped capture this girl, and as a result, this girl went through the same torture training that Kimiko went through, and so she blames, and so she blames Kimiko for what happened to her. Okay, here we go. Another person having to deal with past trauma and things that they did in their past, and it's coming to reckon with them. But again, I feel like Kimiko is probably one of those people who's going to look at it, she's going to try to make it right. Now, can you make something like that right? Probably not. But I have a feeling she's going to try with this girl. It's not like she's not doing the Starfire thing and just kind of ignoring it and saying, I'm sorry. Like, she knows this girl has a right to be mad at her.
Yeah. Once again, another traumatized child grown into an adult.
You know
She's
what?
all
I mean,
screwed up.
Kidnapping a child and throwing her into a fighting ring, like
A knife fight at 12.
Right.
Hey. Yeah.
right. It's like, damn, Hana, damn, Kimiko.
I was just like, bring my
Why
name
you got to
Sorry, wrong
like,
echo.
I
Sorry, my bad.
understand. Like,
wrong echo?
wrong Japanese person, okay? But
But yeah, I was like, I mean, that's the last person I would have expected to do that too. I'm like, Kimiko was out there grabbing folks. It's like I
but you
thought she
know
was.
what? If
They
she was a
always set her up as more
child,
of a victim. They always set her up as a victim, though, more so than a contributor, like someone who actually added to the heartache that was being caused by Shining Light. It's like you always thought she was just a victim, but now it's like,
but
was
it's
she
not
a
too much different from what Homelander or what any of them were going through. Like, you had this group, you had these people controlling you, especially from a child. Like, she and her brother were taken from a playground, if I'm not mistaken. So growing up with these people, again, being tortured, being controlled, manipulated, if she felt like there was nothing else she could do, or if they brainwashed her into thinking, okay, this is what you're supposed to do, she wouldn't have had any control over that, especially if she was a child. You know, it's different. Frenchie was a grown man doing the stuff that he was doing for little Nina. Kimiko is not that old. She's like, I think she's still supposed to be like in her 20s, her late 20s, but her 20s nonetheless.
Mhm.
And she's not that far removed from Shining Light because she was part of that when we first meet her, right? She had just escaped or whatever the case was. So yeah, the circumstances for which she would have done that, I don't think was anything that was within her control. And that's the sad thing, because most of these things weren't. Even with Starlight, your mom was the one who was teaching you how to become this vicious, you know, person just so you could win a fucking pageant, or so you
Mhm.
could win all of these different things so that you could eventually ascend to the seven. Like, that was her mother's whole goal. Her mother was looking for the fame. Her mother was looking for the riches. Her mother was looking for all of the perks that would have come with Starlight being a hero and being part of the Seven. So she brought her daughter up to have that same kind of mindset, and these all of these adults, like Anthony said, traumatized children in adult bodies.
Yep.
And now they're being made to reckon with their traumas.
Yep. Just like I said in our bad mothers panel at Comic-Con, that any parent who gave their child V like that and tried and did all that is a terrible, horrible fucking parent.
Mm-hmm. Because like, why would you do that? Just yeah. But on the other side of this whole V conversation, you have A-Train, who has silently agreed to help Hughie because A-Train is looking for his redemption. He is looking for a way to basically call it even. Okay, so if I do this for you, we're even, we're square. No, you are never going to be, Hughie is never going to be okay with you because of what you did to his girlfriend, what kind of chaos you brought into his life. But you can do to kind of help that along. And if Hughie has to say yes to make you do that, right now he's desperate enough, he's going to do that. But A-Train is so hell-bent on not redemption, but on making himself feel better. I think that's what it is. It's not that he's doing it for the good of someone else. He wants
he's trying to ease his conscience.
Yeah, he's trying to ease his conscience. He's trying to take away his own guilt. So he breaks into Homelander's apartment because Homelander is the one who has all of the V capsules. Shut up,
Oh my
Mike.
God. Okay, I mean, come on. First he finds Homelander's jar of pubes, and it's like, then he finds Homelander's
stash of
mommy
breast
milk
milk.
stash. I'm like, and then he runs into actually took what's his name's advice and left the floater in his bathroom. I'm like,
Which to
like
it's so stupid. Because if Homelander can smell someone's sweat from across the room, you don't think he's gonna walk into that bathroom and smell Ashley all over that bathroom, even before he smells whatever that floater is? He's gonna smell that Ashley has been in his place. And again, with A-Train too, he's gonna. Why are we dealing with all these stupid people in this episode? What Homelander can do?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they thought that through. So it's like, I mean, even though Homelander's going to be in a good mood for like exercising his past demons, as soon as he gets in there, he's going to be like, what the fuck?
Man, let me tell you. I was just like, Ashley sitting there. She was like, nothing. A-Train went in there. He was like, you really left the floater in this bathroom? I was like, you dumb bitch. You dummy. Like, he's gonna know. Like, that thing came out of your body. You really think he's not gonna know it was you? A-Train, you all over his apartment. You think he's not gonna smell that you picked up the jar of pubes? Like, what are y'all doing? And A-Train already knows. Like he said, Sage is looking. What did he say? Sage is already eyeing me like I'm dinner. You really think it's smart for me to be out here talking to you? If Sage is paying attention, what? I just don't get it. I just feel like in that particular moment, those two characters made two of the dumbest decisions anybody associated with Homelander could ever do. If they die, they die. And they probably deserve it, because why would you do something that stupid? I will say this though. A-Train and his false, I don't know, his false goodwill, his false whatever, he's getting on my nerves. He does not deserve a redemption arc. I need them to stop trying to give it. Like, at this point, just have him get caught, which I know is not going to happen. This is only the 4th episode. We got at least 4 more episodes. I can't remember if this is going to be an 8 episode or a 10 episode season, but so we got some time. But stop making the stupid decisions. Just stop. Anyway, okay.
Oh, it's a 8 episode season.
Is it eight? Okay. So we're halfway through. So, okay, something major can happen because we haven't had any major deaths in this season yet, which is very unusual for the boys. Because we usually have well, you know, aside from Todd, and Todd don't count. So, so we'll get something in the next couple of
Put some respect on that man's name.
Absolutely not.
So in the words of Whitney Houston, hell to the no. No.
He was able to pull Mother Milk's wife, and we all know how he did that.
That ain't got. I don't care.
He has real Pete Davidson energy.
I don't care. Now, what I do want to talk about is Mike's screen name, this whole Butcher's Venom thing. Because who was that? Was it you, Anthony, that said you felt like Butcher might have had a parasite? Like whatever was going on with
I don't know.
him,
One of us. I say a lot of things. One of us may have said.
Because while Starlight is out there beating on Firecracker's ass, Frenchie has gone into Firecracker's trailer to kind of toss it, try to see what he could find on Firecracker, because obviously the whole pedo story didn't work. It actually worked in her advantage, which is still crazy. While Frenchie is in there, the pastor Ezekiel comes in to the trailer. And then we find out Ezekiel is a suit, which I was like, I don't know why I didn't think that, because if Starfire went to his camp as a child,
yeah, he's suit for Christ. Yeah, he's
he was in season 1 in that little mini.
Yeah, you don't remember him?
Orgasm thing.
Yeah,
I don't.
Where he was like he was stretching, kissing a woman that he stretched and like followed a guy and was like across the island and shit. Yeah, that was season 1.
You remember
him.
that? That was
season
1. Mm-hmm.
That was him. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he comes in, he finds Frenchie, and of course he starts whooping Frenchie's ass. And Butcher comes in. Butcher starts tangling with Ezekiel, and then you see the little thing kind of creeping up his face, which we saw it also in the beginning of the episode when he was in the shower, which, okay, let me just say this about the shower scene. I've seen Carl Urban in person before. I did not realize he had gotten that big for this show, as far as like the muscle and the size he's put on him. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
Sick.
But it didn't matter when he fell and busted his face on that damn faucet.
It probably mattered more then, because that probably added to the damage that could have been done to him. But
and then there was Becca, like get your ass up. You don't get to die here. Get your bitch ass up. Becca is not letting him give up. Like, she's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do that shit you promised me. So fuck that shit. No, you ain't dying yet.
But he's in there fighting with Ezekiel, and the little thing, whatever it is in his body, kind of goes into his brain. He blacks out. He wakes up. He's covered in blood. The trailer is like, he did about as much damage as Homelander did.
Mm-hmm.
But he has no recollection of it.
Pieces of Ezekiel everywhere.
Pieces of Ezekiel everywhere.
That ugly ass white boot sitting next to him was like
everywhere. And I think what was it? Mother's Milk walked in and he was like, "What the fuck happened?
What the fuck happened? Like, we gotta get out of here."
French is like, "What the fuck happened?" Starlight looks in the trailer. What the fuck happened? Like you got the blood on the window. It's actually on this part in the background now. Like you said, Mike, the boot. You have pieces of skin or whatever hanging from the ceiling. You've got half of his face on the floor. I don't even know where the other half of the face is. It's just, oh, yeah, he did about as much damage as Homelander did, which is Like, what the fuck is that thing in him?
Butcher. It's Venom.
I think we had
I
that
mean,
because I think I sent you that in the chat, Mike. I was like, oh, so is this Venom? Like, is this what we doing?
basically, it's like there's no one. It's like how it's like I don't even know how. First of all, okay, if it sprung from him, how did it? How did it like just spring out like spikes, like springing out like?
I don't
I don't even
know.
know
The
how
way
the
he was
fuck he
blooded
did
up,
that.
the way he was blooded up is almost like he might have done it with his bare hands. Like whatever is inside him is controlling him, not necessarily a separate entity in that sense, but like
Yeah,
it controlled him. It took over his brain, and like however strong that thing made him, you were able to tear a man into pieces, not pieces. You tore his
yeah.
face in half. That's not an easy task.
Well, to be fair, he was already working with only one arm since Butcher freeze dried one of them off.
Yeah,
One
but
of Ezekiel's arm.
I don't, because if this is what happens to Butcher, and I don't know if it's just because he was threatened. I don't know if it was just because that whatever that thing that's in him was itching for a fight. Like if you can do this to somebody that you don't like and that you're attacking, what's going to happen if something like this happens around the people that you know, the people that you love? Because you saw he had this thing earlier right before they confronted Firecracker where he almost passed out. So what will happen if that happens around the people that you care about?
I think the thing if it's a sentient being, I think it can actually it's probably already like merged with his mind and it knows friend from foe. So it's gonna be a minute before probably not until the end of the season or sometime next season where it'll end up trying to turn on him and take over. But
I,
it's
I,
like
I still think it's him. I just think it's a manifestation of his subconscious.
Okay. Okay, so I think the last thing we need to talk about, we got to talk about Sage in the Deep, because that scene, first of all, it did confirm what Mike heard
Mike called it.
that we discussed in the last episode, that little probe was a lobotomy tool and it is used to give her lobotomy. But I was not like, I don't know why this show still surprises me sometimes, because I was like, y'all really didn't have to show me that. I did not, and it's playing in the background right now. I really don't need to see her sticking that thing in her eye.
uh,
But it's
I
so
think
funny. Go
you
ahead,
know
Mike.
what I must be so dead to like everything because I just literally watched that and it's like 'cause I saw reactors looking and they're like, oh, I can't watch this. Oh God, I'm just looking like, oh, that's actually kind of interesting.
Mm-mm.
Like, should I worry about myself? Maybe I should be worried.
Yes, no, let me quit. But it's so funny because in the beginning of the episode, when she's having the meeting with the team about Firecracker's show, and she's sitting there, she's talking to like the social media people and everything, and the Deep is sitting there like, yeah, she's looking at him like he is a piece of scum on the floor. And then when he comes up to her, he was like, yeah, let's go get those wings. Let's go get some, what was it,
Fried,
wings that he
they're
was talking
fried
about?
pickles from Flavor Town,
Okay, something from Flavor Town. And she
or I
was,
could just or I could just give you the flounder pounder. I
when
was
he
like,
said that,
bruh,
I lost
like,
it.
come on, dude.
I was like, really, really.
really,
And I
you
love
couldn't
what
come
she,
up
I
with
love
it.
her response. She was like, "I hate you in ways that I can't quantify."
Can't
No,
And
she didn't
quantify.
say I hate. She said you disgust me in ways that I
just be in
can't
ways.
quantify, and I'm very good at quantifying. And he's looking at
So
her like,
I
huh?
had to write that down. I'm going to use that at some point.
Oh Lord, I
yeah,
believe
that,
it
that
too.
that was great.
I believe it. So at the end of the episode, you see her in her apartment, and he comes in. He was like, "You summoned me, or you wanted to see me?" And she was like, yeah, I got you some of those fries from Flavor Town. He was like, I don't get you, dude. Like, he was like, 1 minute you're nasty, you're mean. He was like, and next you're telling me I'm a superior being, which I like. And then you're down to pound, which I also like. She was like, I know. And so she starts explaining it to him. And she was like, most people's brains stop growing after they turn 25. She says, mine does not. You can stab me in the heart, I will die. If you stab me in the brain, it just regenerates. So she's literally thinking all the time. And I guess at some point, she gets tired too. And she just wants to like chill out, which will explain her in the last episode when I said she was so different when she was talking about, yeah, you want to watch Transformers 2 with the races? She was totally different. And the reason why is because she literally shows him this lobotomy pic. She was like, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to stick this in my eye. He was like, well, no, what did she say? I need you to put this in inside me. And he said, that's a weird looking deal.
I was like,
but then she's like, no, I need you to stick this in my eye. And he was like, what? She was like, it's not going to hurt me. It's just going to give me a little bit of a breather for a couple of hours. And he's sitting there looking like, I'm sure I want to do this. And she was, what did she say? I'll go to Pound Town with you. He was like, okay, where do you need me to
No, no, she said, I'll let you ass fuck me while we watch the Kim and Ray J video.
Oh, that's what wait.
And then he was like, okay, so I put I put this right here. I was like,
which I don't even know if I should say this, but I was gonna be like, that's not the right motivator. That was a boring video. I saw it. It's boring. It's boring.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course you don't. But he puts this thing in her eye, and I was just like, I know you were saying, Mike, that it doesn't bother you. He put it in her eye, and of course you see it's going in her eye. She's got the blood. Then she tells him to take a hammer and
tap, tap, tappy.
Oh,
tap, tap.
No. I was just like, oh my God. Just
and then scrape. It's like she was getting turned on at the end. It's like scrape. I was like, oh,
and then she's dumb. Apparently, at that point, she's dumbed down enough to have sex with him. I was just like,
I got another Flavor Town for you, my pussy. I was like, the way she said it, I was just like, I felt unclean.
Right.
I was like, ugh.
Right. Because it sounds so strange coming from her. Because throughout the episodes, when she's talking very proper. She's talking very educated. She's speaking in complete sentences and blah, blah, blah. And then when she gets with him, when she gets lobotomized, she just turns into this like dirty little skanky whatever. And it's just like, what is wrong with you? But yeah, that was strange. Because, and I understand why she's doing it, but it just,
even the smartest person in the world needs a break. And Onion Blossom,
right?
And fries from Flavor Town.
Racist robots, yeah.
And racist robots.
The fact
and the flounder pounder.
And the fact that you have to lobotomize yourself to have sex with the deep. Like, what does that say about the deep? Somebody has to lobotomize themselves.
Exactly what we already knew. Yep.
But you know what? Maybe it's progress for her, because usually she suffers in silence. She just does it and watches the racist robots and eats a snack.
Yeah, that's true.
This time she got company.
That's still a weird pairing to me. It's so strange. It's so
shout out to 2 Live Crew for getting that check for getting that face down ass up in the episode.
When I tell you I hollered when I heard that, I was like, wait, what?
Face down, ass up. I was like, yeah. All of a sudden it was in the mid-'80s in East Point again. I was like, oh shit. And I'm in Third World Enterprises buying Move Something and hoping my mom doesn't find out.
Oh my God, you said Third World Enterprises. Oh my goodness.
Right, that one right there on Headland and Delow. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
It
was right up the street from me.
That is a deep cut.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So they're a weird couple.
Oh my goodness.
But the last two things that happened at the end is, of course, after Annie beats Firecracker up, she loses her partnership with Singer, because Singer is like, you just screwed everything up for me. Like, he's really trying to get enough backing so that at some point, well, I don't think he has to have the backing to do this, but one of the goals he is trying to do is he's trying to find a way to kill Vicky Newman, because he was like, I can't have a vice president that's a head popper. That can't work, especially while he's trying to do all of this anti-soup stuff. So
You know,
that's
I
not
I'm
gonna work
like
now.
that. This is like weird. This is weird, like kind of quasi racist bullshit kind of going on. It's like you either have you got soups that think they're better than humans, then you have humans that don't like soups and think they should die, and it's just like there's hardly any middle ground at all
Yeah.
anymore. It's just like,
The whole
ugh,
theme of the boys, there's no good guys,
It's
no bad guys.
it's complicated.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing is Hughie. Hughie gets the V from A Train. And believe it or not, he actually does tell A Train, okay, we're good, we're even. I was surprised at that. But
yeah.
then here Butcher shows up.
Out of the shadows, I'm like, did he just like emerge? Like, was the black like engulfing him? Then he like just stepped out
He was
like for
probably
like the
just
shadow
stalking in
in
the
this bitch.
shadows, because Butcher, again, he tore a man apart earlier. He's probably trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And he sees Hughie have this exchange with A Train, and he was like, "You're so stupid. Like, you know what this stuff does. Why would you do it?" He was like, "Well, I mean, maybe you should try this. It'll beat brain. What did he say? You should try it. It'll beat dying from brain cancer, right?" And then Butcher, again, I don't know why I'm surprised. Butcher was like, "I already tried it. I nicked some from Frenchie's desk 4 months ago."
Why does Frenchie have B in his desk?
It's Frenchie.
Because it's Frenchie. He's the
It's
chemist.
Frenchie. It's Frenchie.
He's trying, you never know. He's like, oh, we might need this for something.
He's probably trying to figure out if there's a way to undo V. That's probably why he has some.
Could be.
Maybe,
So
yeah.
he's trying to
I mean,
figure out how
that
to.
actually makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's trying to figure out
Trying to
some way
figure
to
out how to
counteract it.
save Monsieur Charcuterie.
No, figure out how to kill Victoria.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
He's gonna have
But
to reverse engineer it, figure out what is it made of.
yeah.
Anyway,
But Butcher says that he thought that the V would cure him. And he said the only thing it did was bring up, what did he say? All it did was bring up the big day, which I'm assuming means it sped up the progress of whatever it is that's killing him. I don't think it's brain cancer now. It's whatever that little thing is that's going around in his head.
See, I think that he thinks that. I'm sorry. I have a theory. Okay,
Oh,
so
oh
I
wait,
I
we
think
haven't
that
heard that phrase in a minute.
yeah, a couple episodes. So I think that he doesn't really he's getting an idea of what's going on, but he really doesn't know. He probably still thinks it's cancer. And even though because Homelander gave us a clue that he saw it swimming around, like, usually okay, I'm not an oncologist, but I don't think that cancer tumors swim around your body when they're like well, because the way Homelander said, he made it sound like it was a fish, like it was actively moving. But I don't
Did
think it
he? I
moved. I
thought
don't
he just
think,
said, "I see that black mass." Well, he may have said, I see that black mass swirling around your brain."
yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's like I think that he knows that is something is that he's gonna have to face later, and I think that he's gonna figure out that him taking the V actually it didn't shorten his life. It probably extended his life, like but in a way that the being that's inside of him is going to take over as opposed to him actually dying. Like
that's
he's
if
going to
he
like
has a
start.
being inside of him, because like
um,
Anthony
um, uh,
said, that
it,
could be the
it's
manifestation
There's,
just a
of.
there's no
manifestation of his subconscious. It's him.
yeah, but it's gonna come to the forefront and like take over like a
Yeah.
symbiote. I think it's gonna start acting like a symbiote. and probably take over, or like at least like when something's going to happen and it's going to come out and protect him, and everybody's going to be like, the fuck. And it's like,
I mean, if
it's
they're
gonna
not
it's gonna
already
come out.
saying that after he pulled that man apart, then
But see, no one saw that. It's like even Butcher didn't see it. It's like I don't even think he knows. He doesn't.
they
The
don't
way
have to
Butcher.
see that. All they need to see is the aftermath. Like I said, a man's face is half on the floor, or half of his face is on the floor. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I
Marvin's.
I think it's gonna actually seep through, and it's gonna be something like either he's gonna be engulfed in it, or it's gonna be something where he's like part all black, and like you see like pieces of his body sticking out. But I think we're gonna see it kind of manifest into outside of him soon.
Mm, well, either way it goes, I think Butcher is fucked.
Oh yeah,
Either
well,
way,
100%.
he's
Either
Either
way
way,
it goes,
100% fucked.
he's
you're fucked.
fucked. He's fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. They had a lot
Yes,
going
you
on in this
charcuterie.
episode, but we're only
Shout out to
halfway
Butcher
through.
calling out Starlight as a liar. Starlight need to learn how to lie too. I'm like, woman. She's like, yeah. So why does she have a hard on for you? She's like, I don't know. You're like, bollocks. She's like, I don't know. I'm like,
See,
Yeah.
woman.
she still can't face it. She just has to face it. But
Yeah,
she's gonna become more and more unstable.
I think so.
Just like Frenchie is unraveling. She's
yeah,
she's she's unraveling as well.
yeah.
Kimiko's the only one who hasn't quite unraveled yet. She's still trying to kind of face it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a hacker now, so she can look it up.
And Mother's Milk, he's just avoiding. Oh, that's all he's doing.
Yeah, but the other thing too, I think, is with Marvin's story, even though yes, we're talking about him and his leadership skills this season, we dealt with a lot of him and his story not last season, but the season before last with Stormfront. So I don't know if we're going to see a lot of his stuff as far as his past come up. Now he is going to have to deal with his current situation with his family. Like, we haven't talked about Janine in the last couple of episodes, but she's starting to spiral. She's starting to rebel. So I'm sure that's going to come up at some point during this season. At some point, he may have to even admit about what happened to Todd. I don't know how much he told Monique when he told her Todd was dead. He may have told her that Homelander's people were responsible for that, but we don't know yet because we haven't really seen the aftermath of that, aside from a phone call where he was like, well, we'll tell her in the morning. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of Marvin, but everybody else, yeah, they got a lot of shit to deal with.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. You guys have any final thoughts on this episode? This episode was fucking nuts. It was crazy.
It's a lot. There was a lot in this fucking episode.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they gonna go? Like, where are we gonna go with this show? It's crazy.
I don't know.
It's like, I mean, this almost could have been a season finale. Really, it's like, I mean, it's kind of a mid-season finale since there are only 8 episodes. It's kind of like a mid-season kind of like
Yeah,
regrouping
it has
point.
that vibe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm just like, oh, shout out to Butcher taking 50K from mothers from the CIA and getting a suppository for someone.
A cocaine suppository for
Suppository.
someone named Web Slinger. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I don't know. And he was like, well, we got what we needed. I don't even know if I want to know what $50,000 buys you when.
But I mean, Butcher warned him too. He was like, "You're not gonna like it." He warned him.
So
So
whatever they did, I just let's hope it
that
was
shit.
worth
I was like, bro, really?
$50,000.
Well, in the end, it wasn't worth it because
I bet it was worth it in Webslinger's end.
And on that note, that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel. You can chat with us on our Discord channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Also, now, starting today, you can actually comment on our episodes on Spotify, and we can interact that way. So listen to our stuff, leave us some comments, and while you're at it, hit that like and subscribe button. Hope you join the conversation next time. Bye.